Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Marcus Norman from Gentleman Style Podcast, your host of the number one podcast coming to you live in America. And today we are always jam-packed. We are bringing you live and direct with the amazing, the incredible, the stupendous. This man is a father, a driven, motivated man of God, and he is running after not only his dreams, but yours as well. He is an inspiration and a huge, tremendous asset to his community. And so I'm going to introduce him, Mr. Timothy Moore. He's an Omaha native and an Omaha Central graduate. Pursuant to graduating high school, he joined the Army National Guard. So this man is a veteran. We want to thank him for his dedicated and committed service. Upon completion of basic training and advanced individual training, he enrolled in Southern University and AME College in Baton Rouge, LA. Over the last 15 years, Timothy has established himself as a competent and successful professional in the IT field. This man has vision, goal, and drive, and he will let nothing come in his way. He will let nothing stop him. And so, without further ado, you can't give this man a big enough introduction. I want to introduce my guest, my friend, Mr. Timothy Moore, aka the Clarity Doctor. Yes. Thank you. He breaking it down, y'all. He got the moves. I told y'all. He got the moves. Mr. Timothy Moore, thank you, my friend, for being on the show today. Thank you for blessing us and just empowering us and giving back. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm glad we connected. A shout out to Rika Wright. Dope looking out, dope connection. Man, I caught one of your podcasts and I was like, yeah, we need to connect.
Rika is incredible. Rika Wright, she's a credit repair specialist. Shout out to her. She is getting people right for the credit industry and looking out for everyone in her community. Sure. She's changing lives. So thank you for that connection, Rika. Amen. Yeah. Mr. Moore, I'm gonna start off with an oddball one. Why do you call yourself the Clarity Doctor? I know why, but my audience may not know why.
So it's funny because a friend of mine, we were working together, and she's real dope. Shout out to KJ. She's a branding coach. She's an amazing individual, and we were just working together. And she just all of a sudden she was like, "Yeah, you're the Clarity Doctor," and I was like, okay. And it stuck with me, and I loved it ever since. And so, clarity is what I specialize in: perspective, perception, vision, and then the end result, you gain clarity. So I rolling with it.
That's powerful, and that's true. That's very fitting because we all need clarity, right? And we all need perspective. We all need someone from the outside, someone external to look on the outside in and tell us, hey, man, you're off track, you're off step. So that is perfect, so especially what we're going to talk about today. So we are going to talk about you when focusing how you are impacting that same community and how the Clarity Doctor is changing lives, changing the face of business. And one of the things I want to focus on is you have a network, a program, a company. What it's called Empowered for Purpose. What is the purpose? What is your purpose?
All right, cool. So Empowered for Purpose. Actually, that's not something I'm doing alone. I'm partnering with and co-founding that endeavor, Empowered for Purpose, and it's a globally recognized platform designed to shift stagnant people dropped by non-empathetic leadership. So we empower individuals to view their world as founders, as builders, as influencers, and solution strategists. So Takara Nicole, she's the other half of that. She's an identity architect, super dope individual, my girl. And so, we came up with that together. And so we launched it not too long ago, did the soft launch of it. We're just excited about that endeavor.
That's powerful. So partnering up, that's a dynamic team up. That's a dynamic thing to really reinforce. What is it you and your partner has been experienced? What is the biggest struggle that you and your partner has noticed when it comes to breaking through that barrier And what
Right.
is it you see people struggling with?
Right. So there's two pieces of it. So she and I do Empower for Purpose, and then I do my company Vision Writers USA. And so the vision for Vision Writers is to help people break through those invisible barriers, those mental barriers. And those mental barriers are simply people's perspective. It's their perception of the world, and it's not having a clear vision on how to move forward. So a lot of people have wants, but those wants don't translate into a strong desire. Now, if you know the difference between a want and a desire, wants are situational. So you could wake up in the morning and
Hmm.
you could be hit with the desire to want something to eat. You can want pancakes. You could, you know, 5 minutes later, you could see a commercial on TV, and all of a sudden now, instead of pancakes, you want waffles, or you might want, you know what I'm saying? So those are situational. They're hit from the external environment, marketing, someone coming by and making a suggestion. But a desire, that goes way past your wants. So regardless of your situation, desires stick with you. And so as a clarity doctor, and what I do is I pull out what your true desire is and then build vision around your desire.
Powerful. Powerful. Wow. And so you are creating a lasting impression because a want, it sounds like a want isn't going to stick, but a desire, if you have a desire,
Yes.
that will last and that will allow you to meet your goals and
Yes.
finish off the race to completion.
Ooh, come on. And you said that. And so even with that, in dealing with entrepreneurs, business owners, couples, I think we might touch on that later on. But the vision is that long range destination. And so having that clear vision allows you to align goals with vision. So you can often have goals that are just out there. You're killing goals. You're knocking them off. You're knocking them off. You're a goal smasher. You checking them off. But at some point, the question is, where am I really trying to go? That's where vision kicks in. That's where vision propels you past, the 5 year goal that you have. Because after you check off a goal, what do you want to do? You will go on to the next. You're excited
The
for a
next
few
one.
minutes, but you're going on to the next. So you can be that goal lister, but the idea is, what do you want beyond the goal? So you're not, teetering out, running out of momentum, running out of gas because you didn't set a big enough vision. You didn't set up a long range enough endpoint. So there's a lot of, details around really coming up with your vision and not just randomly saying, all right, this is my vision statement. Boom. Forgetting about it, putting it in the closet, putting it on your computer, and then just running off trying to go after something. You got to keep the vision in front of you.
That's powerful. Wow, wow, wow. Keep the vision alive. Y'all, please, you're not going to get this nuggets anywhere else except with the Clarity Doctor and his fine team. Please like, share, and subscribe this episode because he is giving out nuggets today. And this is the only platform, one of the only many platforms that you can connect with him and get these nuggets. And so, talking about your class, you brought this up earlier, and I'm glad that you did because in that class, you help business owners, you help entrepreneurs, you help people going through the day-to-day life create what's called a life vision statement.
Right.
Why is that important? Why is that so important? And why do your team and you help people chime in on that?
So glad you asked, sir. So I'll do it like this. I talk about 8 points that make why creating a vision is so important. And real quick, number one is to help you combine and consolidate all your 101 ideas that you got in your head. Number two, to help you establish real priorities that you're willing to stick with and not change. Number three, to help you focus on what you feel the most passionate about. Four, to help you align your goals with the bigger picture. Five, to help you filter out what should not be in your life. Number six, to help you set boundaries. Seven, to attract the right situations and people into your life. And then finally, number eight, to keep you from being distracted by what feels good at the time. This is why you need to have a very clear, concise, and compelling written life vision statement and keeping that in front of you and not behind you.
That's powerful. Wow, wow. And so keeping it forward and keep pressing forward and focusing on those 8 focal points so that you can continue to move forward and one of the things in his class, y'all, that you're gonna get is you're gonna get someone that's motivated and someone that's with you every step of the way. Unlike most traditional classes where you're not going to get the one-off spin-off and then you're by yourself. His team,
Mhm.
the Clarity Doctor, is going to be with you every step of the way to keep you encouraged and to keep you motivated and to keep you
Right,
pressing forward, because that's what it's
right.
about. We can't do this alone. No one gets to where they are today without some help,
Mhm.
and the Clarity
Right.
Doctor is here to help us. And so that's
Absolutely.
powerful. Your team, your company, Vision Writers, because that's a separate organization that you mentioned,
Mhm.
that's different from other organizations that you and I have probably experienced in the past. What sets Vision Writers set apart, and what kind of entrepreneurs, business owners does it help? Does it help lawyers, doctors,
Right.
physicians? Who is this program tailored for?
Right, right, right. So, you know, a lot so if you talk to some of the greats, Zig Ziglar, you talk about Think and Grow Rich, you talk about Les Brown and Tony Robbins and all those, mindset coaches, Arnold Schwarzenegger, their
Yep.
number one thing is that you must have a clear vision. Their number one thing, starting out, every single one of them uh, starts out with you being able to write down exactly what you want. What is your true desire? Even, Napoleon Hill's book, there's that whole chapter in the beginning. It says, write down your true desire. That statement of your true want, that statement of your true desire. Most of us skip past that point. We're
Mm.
so in a hurry to get to work. We're so in a hurry to get to manifestation. We're so in a hurry to get our hands on that dream. We're so in a hurry to start flossing, especially in the Black community where we've been deprived of so much. We need something to show off. We need to feel better about ourselves. We need to feel better about our situations. There's so many complexities around. Slow your roll. Make sure you understand what it is that you really want before you take off running to go and try to do something. That's why so many businesses fail. They took off running because they wanted to get to the finish line, but they weren't clear on what the finish line really was. So, vision writers, I understood that because that was me. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
understood, having these ideas and taking off running and then going to the next idea, shiny object. But then when I understood the power of vision, where, okay, you got to sit down and take some time and do that introspect and ask yourself, what do I really want that will take me past life's you never know what's going to hit you situations, because
True.
life, you don't know what's going to hit you, and you need
True.
something so powerful that's going to take you past that. So when something hits my life, it doesn't matter because the vision does not change because of divorce, because of hardship, because of financial I have made up in my mind the end state, and when you have that, life is just, it begins to pull you off with the momentum. So the difference is we strictly focus on getting your vision clear so that you never have to revisit and say, you know what, that wasn't really what I wanted to do. No, before you take off, you need to know that this is it and you're not going to change. That's what you need. And that's what we provide. That stick to it.
That's powerful. Powerful. Y'all, I hope you guys are catching this. I'm catching this. His Mr. The Clarity Doctor's course is powerful because he's talking about the vision. And I don't want you to miss this because this is a golden nugget here. The vision, he's trying to get you to focus on the vision so that the vision is what you're going after. Now, the gentleman
Yes.
he just mentioned, the successful people, the Bill Gates, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, those people had a vision, but guess what? How they got there may have changed. So when he says you never change the vision, right? You never change what you're going after.
Yes.
How you get there will, but
Yes.
your vision should never change, and that's what his team gets you. Because you
Right.
may have to pivot, you may have to step to the side, you may have to step to the left, but the vision never change. The vision of your company,
Yes.
your brand, your goals, your desire
Yeah. Come on.
will never
Come on.
change. Will
Won't
never
change.
change. Powerful.
Yes.
Powerful. Does
Absolutely.
your course help couples? Can you impact a couple with this knowledge? Can those 8 steps help someone who's struggling, just like you said, divorce?
So those 8 points that I gave, those are your reasons why that you need the vision, right? So those are
Yes.
the things that are going to help you to understand what is slowing you down. The fact that you got so many ideas in your head, but you don't know what to do with all of them. You need a vision. The fact that you're distracted by every shiny new object, every shiny new toy, you need a vision. So
Mm,
once you get the vision, then you focus and your lenses now begin to look at life through where you're going to the end
mm,
destination. So as a couple, as two people with totally different backgrounds and perspectives, when you take a his vision statement, a her vision statement, you combine it together and make it our vision. That's where the
ow.
powerful power comes in. Now you have man and woman coming together, husband and wife, and they're saying we both see the same thing. We combined my desire with your desire, and we've united it into a statement of vision for the both of us that we both now have found value in. And when you recite it together, when you believe it together, when your heart is fully set, your affections are set on that. How can two walk together except what they be agreed? When you both agree on the same thing, when two are touching and agreeing, as
Unstoppable.
when two touch, you come on now, you can't separate two individuals who have the same vision. Come on, I could quote
Unst-
scripture on that, but you all know
Unstoppable.
when two people can see the same thing, man, you're life changing as a couple, as a team, as an organization, as a family. You all see the same thing. No one's wondering what we should do. I can leave, but because they know the vision, they can keep going. They don't have to keep calling. Well, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? Why? Because they know the vision. They can make decisions. That's true entrepreneurship,
That's
man.
true. That's too. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. He's taking us to church, y'all. He's taking us to church today. We are in the Clarity Doctors choir. Where's the choir? We need the choir. Oh my
Somebody
gosh.
out there sang.
I
Who we got?
played.
Ashley, can you sing? Ashley, she out there. Who is that?
As you can
Starts with a
sing,
G. All right, we need to have her sing then. Sing a solo.
I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna
And
get her. Oh my gosh. What? So this is powerful because focus, I think, as a people, as a society, and I'm talking about the black community, as a people, I think um we have this is a unique time for us. We have never that I've in my lifetime been so focused and come together than the Black Lives
mm,
Movement. And I
mm,
think this is a unique time where black people as a culture have really come together for justice, and
right.
the true focus is on, let's just say, the end of racial injustice and racism. I don't think I've ever
Mm-hmm,
seen that in my lifetime. How do you feel about the
mm-hmm,
Black Lives Movement? And do you feel, and I'm talking about the rioting, the marching,
mm.
the guns in the streets, do you feel it's effective, or do you feel it's necessary? Do you think it's working?
Well, you know what I'm gonna say. It's not effective if no one knows what the vision is. It's not effective because success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. It's progressive realization of a worthy goal. I have yet to see and understand what the vision is and the goal is of Black Lives Matter. Now, I understand what has stirred up action and activity because we're
Mm,
seeing activity.
yes.
I understand that very well. There's activity. It goes back to, all right, I want you to stop killing us. Remember, wants versus desire. I want you to stop killing us. I want you to stop racial profiling. I want you to give us fair treatment. I want you to,
Yes.
those are all wants. But what is the true
Yes.
desire? What is the vision that we can now progressively work towards and see milestones? What's the milestone? At what point
Mhm.
will we see, all right, we've checked off a milestone of the movement. Now we can go on to the next. I have yet to see that. So, to answer your question, there's a lot of activity, but there's no goal and no vision that I know of. And if there is, only a few people know it, and the rest of the people are just outliers joining on the bandwagon.
There it is. There it is. That is from the Clarity Doctor himself, y'all. And we are here to come together and find that vision and focus on that vision. And that's unique, right? Because in the day we had the visionaries, right? We had the
That's
Malcolm
it.
X, we had the
Right.
Martin Luther, we had the Rosa Parks, the Coretta Scotts.
Yes.
Those were
Yes.
visionaries that
Yes.
brought all that energy, that pumped up energy, and
Yeah.
focused, right? And they were the focal point in which we could direct that energy and make change.
Right. Make
And
change.
so that's the vision, y'all. That's powerful. Please, hey y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. This is the Gentleman Style Podcast with your host Marcus Norman and the Clarity Doctor. If you are just tuning in, thank you for checking us out and tuning in. And I hope we are serving you in the best way possible. Moving on. In your course, I dug deep. I had to dig deep. You have a
Yeah.
Smash 2020 masterclass. In that class, you teach on some very deep diving things and some very core things. One of those
Yeah.
pieces is discovering the healing power of sharing your personal story. Right?
Ooh-wee.
There are a lot of CEOs, there are a lot of entrepreneurs that you don't know their background. And so,
Yes.
why is it important to share that personal story? And who's healing from it? Is it me? Is it my audience? Is it the people who hurt me? Tell us about that.
Right, man. So again, shout out to Cara Nicole. She is the one who actually leads that portion. She's the identity coach. She's also a coach, a coach, a book coach, an author coach. So she helps people get their story out. So,
Ooh.
but in that question, being able to talk about what hurt you and what propelled you into your current position is healing to those one who are listening and who are in that position now because they're able to see get a new perspective that they're not the only ones who have experienced it but also can see, get a new perspective, look at things in
Yeah.
another way that tells them I can escape where I am. And that's what a lot of leaders aren't sharing is their story. You talk about, you look at church, you got pastors, you got deacons, you got wives. I was in church where they were like, oh, well, you talking too much. Don't tell it all. That you sharing too much information. Well, you know what? I'm healed. I'll talk about it. But you got to
Yeah.
get healed. You got to do the work, and then you got to be transparent because what you keep in the dark gonna come back and get you. It'll come back and get you. But when you expose something, you put some light on it. Obviously, what does light do to a situation? What does light do to a wound? What does light do to the atmosphere? It starts the healing process. So it's both
Mm.
for those who are hearing the story and for those who are telling the story. And so getting that out, being able to share, being able to expose yourself and talk about how you got to that next level helps just all around. It helps people. It delivers people. So
Wow.
that's key.
That
Yes.
is key.
Um,
That is
you know,
absolutely
just and just kind of mention that Smash 2020 is a 4 week program. It's only a $14 investment, but it helps people understand what it's going to take to create their vision. And so that's where, we talk about mindset. We talk about creating a big vision. Then we talk about mapping and connecting goals to the big vision, and then storytelling. And now we added a different component called identity, because you need those things really to be able to take your vision and run with it. Because if you don't know who you are, you're going to quit. If you don't know your real identity, if you don't recognize what you bring to the table, you'll quit, because you'll hear other voices in your head. You'll want to tend to duplicate or imitate other people's success instead of realize, you know what, you're special within itself. I was talking to a lady in Tanzania today. Tanzania, Africa. She reached out and said, "Hey, I
wow.
want to work for your company." Right. And so she said, "I want to start a business. And so I'm trying to find money." I was like, "You're trying to find money?" I was like, "You can't find money. You have to attract money. That means you have to
Amen.
create something valuable that people are going to want and people are willing to pay for, and then you'll attract money to you." She was like, "Yeah, but I need money to start my business." No, you need something that people want. And when I began to explain that to her, she began to realize, oh, I had this thing backwards. I'm trying to chase money. You can't go look for money. Money just ain't floating out there. You got to find people who you got to find people who want what you want. And then she was like, "Well, what do I have?" I said, "That's your journey. That's
Mm,
your journey to figure out what it is you have that's valuable." And I said, "Now you're a business owner." Because she said, "Well, what do people want?" Exactly. Now you're an entrepreneur. Now you're a solution strategist. Now you're solving problems. You got to ask yourself, what do people want?
that's powerful.
She was
That's
she was blown away.
that. And so $14, y'all. That's what it takes. $14 to fine tune and become that problem solver and to create that vision and to deep dive into the courts so you can find out. Because one of the unique things that he's being very modest about. One of these things you may uncover that you're not the business that you want. Just like he said, you may be copying someone else thinking, oh, this is the business that I want. But it's not you. It's not
Man,
your
come on.
vision, right? You're
Come
trying
on.
to copy this over here because you saw old boy over here, old girl over here doing it. And that's not your walk. And
Mm,
so what he's not telling you is you'll uncover that what you're going after is not your core vision. Hey,
come
you
on.
need to do
Yeah.
this thing over here. This is what you're good at. This is what you like. Um, he brought
Mm-hmm.
up Rika Wright. One of the powerful things Rika Wright does she does a lot of stuff. She models. She models. She does hair. She does all these different things. She gives back. She volunteers. She's a activist in her community. But her core is credit repair and financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's her core.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that is what the Clarity Doctor and his team is going to help that lady uncover in that master class. Powerful,
Right.
powerful.
Right.
I, I'm going to throw this back at you because you did this to me. So I have to ask a question. Does the black male professional distance themselves from each other and fail to collaborate on the same level
Man,
as
right.
black females? I gotta do it. I
Heads to
gotta
the
do it.
knob.
We don't. We don't.
Heads to the knob.
Why don't we? Why don't we? Why don't
Man.
we as men come to each other instead of why don't we look to each other for guidance and encouragement?
Man, that conversation that we had, on the male perspective, there was a lot of good points, and I feel like the main thing that I took away from that was uh, it's a generational conditioning and a understood systemic mindset that black men have. And let me just make it simple. For a long time, and like Todd Hunt said, if we were together in numbers as black men with more than one person, we would go to jail. There's a
Wow.
fear that if there's a fear in us that if we come together, that we're going to be attacked, that we're going to be rounded up, that we're going to be accused in some sort of way of some sort of wrongdoing. It's in us. It's innate, and I'm aware of that. I mean, when he mentioned that, and I said, "Yeah, you're kind of right. I don't like too many brothers around me because I'm scared they might think we're a gang." That I think that's number one. Number two, we're used to competing against one another. We're not used to being on the same team. We were built to compete. To when you and I talked about, man, when you're one of the few black professionals in a Fortune 500 company, maybe one, and then another black professional shows up on the scene. It's like, whoa, hold up,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, it's competition. There's only one token. There's only one of
Mhm.
us allowed in that position. There's only one of us allowed in senior leadership or whatever it is. And one of us got to go, and it's going to be you. That's in our conditioning. And we have not escaped that yet. And it's unfortunate. We haven't escaped it.
It's powerful. It's powerful. That's deep, y'all. The reference point the Clarity Doctor here is mentioning is I was invited to a talk point where a panel of men got to discuss why is it we as men are not working together. And I don't want y'all to miss that. I don't want that to blow over because it's important. Men need to come together as a whole. We need to come together and we need to work together. And because that's why they keep us separate, because we are powerful together. And a small example is your palm, right? Your palm, you can do a lot with this, right? 5 fingers, you can pick up stuff, individually it can accomplish a lot. But when they come together, it is that much more powerful. You can break through walls, you can break through a lot of barriers when people
Mm-hmm.
with like minds come together. And so that's what that
Right.
panel was about. And
Right.
so
Right. And
truly
and you know what?
powerful.
We definitely have to make it an effort. We have to be intentional if we're going to break through that systemic mindset, that perception that we have, that identity, how I look at you as a black man. I got to deal with that. I got to deal with how I look at myself as a black man and be honest, and become fully aware how I'm looking at my brothers, and do the work to change it in my own mind and reach out.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. That panel opened my eyes up to um there are certain environments, and I got inboxed and I got messaged after that panel because some people reached out to me and they're like, "You really wouldn't do business with a guy trying to invest in his business?" And I said, "No." There are some things that your son was on that panel, and your son even shared he's a part of a lot of movements. He is employed, and I think he even said he's a part of a yacht club. And
Yeah,
he is the
yeah,
only brother in in that group, in that organization. He's the only black male in that community that is allowed to be in that program. And
right,
so he has to carry himself with a certain distinction because of who his audience is. So he doesn't look like every other brother that comes this way. So he has to be careful in who he affiliates with because of who he represents. And
right.
it's not competition. It's he has to make a way so that you can walk the path. So if he
Mm-hmm.
presents himself
Mm-hmm.
with, guess what they're going to do when he transfers and he moves up? Someone else will be allowed in because he paved the way. Sometimes people have to pave a way where there's no path.
That's right. That's good.
So, Clarity Doctor, what 3 books would you recommend that every man or woman should read?
Hmm. I would say definitely Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. Um, I would say uh, definitely. I would say any book by Dr. Miles Monroe. I mean, that's an amazing man. He's, you know, he passed away a few years back. Just on the kingdom perspective, just on business, on vision, just so many different things. He's just phenomenal, phenomenal. Anything on Dr. Miles Monroe, and I wouldn't necessarily see a third book. I can't remember the author, but it's a book on the power of awareness. It's a super old book, The Power of Awareness. And the reading of this book is it's kind of a unique read. It's written in some very old kind of English or what have you, and the concepts on awareness are mind blowing. I'll put it like that. When you start understanding, you know, what you're aware of and what things exist, but we're just not aware of them. When you start understanding that, it'll mess your head up. It's like, wow, things
Hmm.
that are already there, but you just weren't aware. And when you start opening your eyes, you'll start to see what you didn't see. And that phenomena is it's I got to go back and read it again because there was just so much meat in that book. I'm so serious.
And there are books like that, right? There are books like that that are so powerful and so impactful that it takes a couple reads. It takes several rereads to get through the message and
Yeah.
to really absorb it. So they do exist.
Mm-hmm.
Who are your heroes and why?
Man, Spider-Man, and Superman. Boom, in that order.
In that order. I th-
In that
that's
order.
I feel you.
You
So
know, seriously,
go ahead.
you know, heroes. I guess I don't really have any heroes, honestly. Yeah, just my life has been pretty crazy, a lot of experiences, and so um, there's people that I look up to, people that I've seen that really impacted. Um, I'll mention he's a pastor of Ambassador Worship Center here in Omaha, Nebraska. Dr. Martin Williams, amazing man. He just transformed my life in just a short time that I was there in terms of my view of myself. A lot of healing took place. And so I want to give him a lot of shout out and just thank him for what that time did for me.
Powerful. Powerful, powerful. We got one question from the audience that I'm gonna put on the big screen here. What are the topics covered in your course? And so there are several courses. I think she's inquiring about the masterclass course. What are some topics
So,
on there?
um, so the Smash 2020, that's
Yep.
smashing your goals and smashing what hinders you from accomplishing your goals. So it's a 4 week, $14 master course every Saturday morning. The first one is mindset. So you can have a vision, you can create a vision, but if your mindset and your belief system isn't uh, established enough in a way that you can even believe that you can accomplish and achieve what you're seeing, then you have to reevaluate your mindset and your belief system. So we talk about and uncover those objections that you have, that we all have, to success. Number two is in a big vision, creating a big vision for your life, pulling from within what you really want and what you desire. Then there's attaching goals to your vision. What are the things that you actually need to start doing, start implementing that line up with your goals or with your vision? Because you don't want to say, I'm going to California, knowing that California is a warm weather state and you keep buying winter clothes. So if you're going to California, you need to what? Set new goals to now
Yep.
start buying summer clothes and selling your winter clothes. That's aligning your goals with your vision. And then finally, there's the identity portion. Identity is just uncovering, unlocking who you really are so that you can run with the vision. And so those are the topics. And to get into it, it's real quick. It's getunstucktoday.com if you want to sign up for that and check that out. Get unstuck today. Boom, right there. Man, this man is on point. That's why he's the gentleman cast number one podcast online.
Thank you all. Great question, Shanique. Thank you for that question. That was really, really good. And yes, click the link. If you can't click the link, you can reach out to me and I will connect you to the website and I'll share this link with anyone that asks. But reach out to the Clarity Doctor so we can get a firm grasp at Smash 2020. Breaking through those barriers and creating that life vision is very, very powerful. How do you give back to your community? I know I mentioned a lot of stuff, but what is your favorite way to give back to your community?
Doing spoken word. I love spoken word. I love poetry, and so I feel like, just where I am in my life, poetry is a way that I share deep truths that I have experienced, and so it's a way to unwind and just inspire and empower people through poetry.
That's word. That's word. What is what is the best way for our audience to connect with you and to connect with your master class in that Smash 2020 class?
That was it. Getunstucktoday.com. That's the easiest way. I mean, it's pretty easy to remember. Get unstuck the number 2 day.com. Get unstuck today. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to get unstuck. Get your dreams, go after them. Whatever's holding you back, whatever mindset, whatever belief system, go after it, because I believe you can do it, and I believe you were created to do it. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Clarity Doctor. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to give back. We appreciate you. We love you, brother. And this is helpful. This is going to help so many different lives and so many different people in changing that narrative and getting focused and doing better business. We need you. The world needs you. The world is changed by your influence. And so, y'all, we want to thank you. I thank you. The Clarity Doctor thanks you. And like always, y'all, this is Marcus Norman. Any last words for our audience? Anything you want to, any nuggets, any last bit of nuggets? You dropped a lot of nuggets. Any last pieces of wisdom you want to give my audience?
I would just say, really this is, if you want to take an immediate shift on how you do things, and I'll say this, the mind has synapses and pathways, and there's a path that you think along. It's very defined, and it's just how you've been thinking. It's your perspective, it's your perception, and it's been starting since childhood. So if you want to change and get off that path where you see the same thing, where you look at things the same way, you want to get off that path and look at things from a different way, do this. It's one step. And it might sound funny, might sound crazy, but it will cause you to look at things in a different way. However you put your pants on every morning, change the foot you put them on. If you put your pants on and put your left leg in first, don't do it. Put your right leg in first. Do it a different way. You're going to cause the mind to automatically change paths because you did something different, and it'll change your awareness. Start doing that. Change, just that simple thing will shift your perspective. You'll see something new and go a different way to work. Just things like that will help you start looking at things a different way.
Wow.
Facts.
Wow. I'm gonna do it. Facts. Hashtag facts. I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
I'm gonna definitely do it. I think I felt attacked just now. I think I do put my right leg in. I gotta change it up.
And
so he's
see,
talking to me, y'all.
It's so simple because we're taught, like when you're a little boy, a little girl, all right, here, put your leg in, and your mama might have said, no, put your right foot in. And
Hmm.
from then on, you were stuck putting your right leg in first. Change up. Put your left leg in first. Your drawers and your pants. Go ahead, do it different.
Do not put your drawers on the outside, y'all. That's the put your
Learning
underwear
that.
on the outside.
Put your leg. Put your leg in different. Put your leg in different. Change legs.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Marcus Norman from Gentleman Style Podcast and Mr. Timothy Moore, aka the Clarity Doctor. This is, and like always, like every show, I always say, take care of your family, take care of your friends, and take care of business. This is Marcus Norman and the Clarity Doctor signing off.